Pay close attention, my dearest child, because this message is not intended for all recipients. It was whispered right to you. Archangel Michael is currently standing beside you, sword lowered and wings open, waiting to see if you will accept this in silence and faith. A divine shift is taking place today. This is an impossible scenario. This serves as confirmation. What you are about to enter is a place of power, protection, and promise. However, there is a warning that you must not ignore. Pay close attention. You are the chosen one at this time, not because you are better than others, but because your spirit has been tested, refined, and ready. According to Archangel Michael, you are on the verge of achieving health and wealth, not only financially, but also in terms of divine alignment, clarity, peace, and strength. Your mind will be elevated, your body will respond to heaven, and your resources will multiply. However, this blessing is fragile in its early stages, much like a flame that must be shielded from the wind. This is why the warning is clear. If you reveal it to anyone too soon, you risk losing everything. This is not a matter of fear, dear one, but of wisdom. This is because not everyone applauds when you ascend, and not everyone prays for your healing. Archangel Michael reveals that silence is your shield at this time, and some people smile while secretly questioning what God is doing to you. It is critical to protect the unseen structure that God is building until it is completely established. Today marks the start of a divine window through which your health begins to realign. Long-term fatigue, stress, and heaviness fade, and your body receives instructions from heaven on how to heal, restore, and renew. Some of you may notice minor changes, such as better sleep, clearer thoughts, sudden motivation, or a resurgence of strength. Avoid discussing or questioning it. Instead, quietly absorb it. At the same time, wealth is being deposited, not rushed, stolen, or coerced, but deposited. Chances will begin to manifest. Concepts will become clearer, and previously closed doors will appear to be unlocked. However, Archangel Michael warns that the enemy is very aware when blessings are spoken prematurely. As a result, at this time, discretion is the best course of action. My child, understand this reality. Not everyone requires knowledge of God's promises. For example, Jesus kept his silence before his breakthrough moments, and David was sworn in as king, but remained silent. Silence does not postpone the blessing. Instead, it protects it. At the moment, I encourage you to enshrine this word in faith as your spirit resonates with it. Bumble. Typing Amen in the comments section confirms that you agree with the divine plan for your life and protection. Archangel Michael promises that if you follow this divine secret, your blessing will be secure indefinitely. This does not imply isolation. Rather, it indicates discernment. However, avoid hurling this pearl at people who are unable to bear its weight. Talk to God, talk to the heavens, and pray. This message is accompanied by a straightforward but effective assessment. Do you have enough faith in God to stay silent? In addition, can you resist the urge to explain, demonstrate, or declare? Individuals who pass this exam move quickly up the favoritism hierarchy, whereas those who fail frequently face excessively long wait times. You may have already sensed it, a joy too sacred to publicly express, a mix of caution and excitement. The Holy Spirit is confirming his statement through that sensation. Your healing will not be accompanied by noise or disorder, but by divine timing, peace, and order. Heaven will alert you to the appropriate time to speak through results rather than words. Archangel Michael is currently close to you, ensuring that what is rightfully yours is protected before you even realize it. Keep your feet on the ground, be grateful, and act in accordance with your faith until then. Drink water on purpose, take breaks when your body tells you to, and push yourself in your current endeavors, because even the smallest acts of obedience contribute to significant, invisible changes. Your spirit was prepared to receive this message, so it was delivered to you. Most people would have dismissed or ignored the situation, but you persisted and listened. This alone convinces Archangel Michael that he can trust you. This is critical to remember. The gift that God is about to bestow on you does not require validation. Rather, it requires protection. Silence now leads to celebration, whereas secrecy now leads to security. Recognize this quietly, ensure its security, and monitor the outcome. Take a deep breath as you listen to this layer. Archangel Michael is currently discussing what will happen after today's events have started to affect you. Many people believe that blessings are accompanied by immediate confirmation and loud noises. However, heaven usually operates in the opposite way. The events in your life will appear calm from the outside, but they will be unstoppable on the inside. This is how you will know that it is truly from God. According to Archangel Michael, the first sign of this transformation will be an internal shift. Your thoughts will naturally begin to change. The weight of worry will lift, and old fears about your finances, body, and future will begin to fade. You may not be aware of it at first, but you will eventually realize that the thing that used to make you panic no longer has any influence over you. This is no coincidence. It is a divine realignment. Your health will gradually change, not in a dramatic or abrupt way, but from within. This is because your body has been listening to every word you've said to it for years, whether positive or negative. The script is currently being rewritten by heaven. According to Archangel Michael, your cells respond to peace, and stress is eliminated at its source as you rest, sleep, and even breathe more deeply. So, do not try to speed up this sacred process by comparing yourself to others. Simultaneously, wealth, energy, or divinely ordered provision is moving toward you. However, you must remain vigilant. It will not be accomplished through desperation, but rather through consensus. Archangel Michael is directing your actions to keep you from wasting your time and energy. You will feel a sense of urgency to make decisions, avoid distractions, and focus on a single task rather than several. This narrowing yields precision rather than loss. Some of you may want to organize your finances, streamline your daily routines, or declutter your home. This is not just a coincidence. Initially, God removes the disorder to help you develop. The order facilitates the receipt of additional items. It is critical to pay close attention to these gentle instructions, as even minor acts of obedience can yield significant rewards. Please listen to this warning with compassion. Do not seek approval from others during this time, as your mindset will improve as you feel better and opportunities will arise. You will be tempted to provide an explanation, hint, or test reactions, but you should resist this urge. According to Archangel Michael, silence remains your safeguard. The blessing is still in the process of laying its groundwork, and premature exposure undermines the progress that is being made. In addition, your emotions are being addressed. Old wounds that you thought were insignificant are being addressed by God, which is why memories may unexpectedly resurface, not to cause pain, but to liberate you. Allow them to cry if necessary, as the healing process is not always easy, but it is always for a good reason. Be aware, chosen one, that not everyone in your vicinity intends to accompany you to your destination. As a result, some relationships will inevitably end, while others will feel distant and uninterrupted. Do not seek explanations, because God's act of mercy is not punishment, but rather a transformation of one's surroundings that occurs when one is elevated. Archangel Michael is also improving your discernment. You will learn when to speak up, when to remain silent, when to move, and when to wait. Your health and wealth will be protected by this inner knowing. Do not let fear or logic undermine your faith in it. I expect you to take action now that this message has reached the deepest levels of your being. I don't mean this as a burden, but rather as a point of convergence. If this term resonates with you and you feel calm rather than disoriented, please perform this simple act of consent. Please distribute this message to someone who needs it without disclosing your own blessing. Also, please refrain from leaving comments about your personal circumstances. Alternatively, you can leave a comment to express your religious beliefs. If you have not already subscribed, you should do so immediately because these messages are not sent at random. Rather, they are sent at the appropriate time. No, your assistance is more than just assistance. It is an active participation. Through interaction, you establish a connection with the flow of this message, allowing it to be transmitted to those actively seeking confirmation through silent prayer. Archangel Michael warns that time is running out. The whisper that began has progressed. However, consistency is required for advancement. Therefore, it is critical to remain present, open, and grounded. You may be curious about the length of this process. However, pay close attention, my dearest child, because this message is not intended for all recipients. It was whispered right to you. Archangel Michael is currently standing beside you, sword lowered and wings open, waiting to see if you will accept this in silence and faith. A divine shift is taking place today. This is an impossible scenario. This serves as confirmation. What you are about to enter is a place of power, protection, and promise. However, there is a warning that you must not ignore. Pay close attention. You are the chosen one at this time, not because you are better than others, but because your spirit has been tested, refined, and ready. According to Archangel Michael, you are on the verge of achieving health and wealth, not only financially, but also in terms of divine alignment, clarity, peace, and strength. Your mind will be elevated, your body will respond to heaven, and your resources will multiply. However, this blessing is fragile in its early stages, much like a flame that must be shielded from the wind. This is why the warning is clear. If you reveal it to anyone too soon, you risk losing everything. This is not a matter of fear, dear one, but of wisdom. This is because not everyone applauds when you ascend, and not everyone prays for your healing. Archangel Michael reveals that silence is your shield at this time, and some people smile while secretly questioning what God is doing to you. It is critical to protect the unseen structure that God is building until it is completely established. Today marks the start of a divine window through which your health begins to realign. Long-term fatigue, stress, and heaviness fade, and your body receives instructions from heaven on how to heal, restore, and renew. Some of you may notice minor changes, such as better sleep, clearer thoughts, sudden motivation, or a resurgence of strength. Avoid discussing or questioning it. Instead, quietly absorb it. At the same time, wealth is being deposited, not rushed, stolen, or coerced, but deposited. Chances will begin to manifest. Concepts will become clearer, and previously closed doors will appear to be unlocked. However, Archangel Michael warns that the enemy is very aware when blessings are spoken prematurely. As a result, at this time, discretion is the best course of action. My child, understand this reality. Not everyone requires knowledge of God's promises. For example, Jesus kept his silence before his breakthrough moments, and David was sworn in as king, but remained silent. Silence does not postpone the blessing. Instead, it protects it. At the moment, I encourage you to enshrine this word in faith as your spirit resonates with it. Bumble. Typing Amen in the comments section confirms that you agree with the divine plan for your life and protection. Archangel Michael promises that if you follow this divine secret, your blessing will be secure indefinitely. This does not imply isolation. Rather, it indicates discernment. However, avoid hurling this pearl at people who are unable to bear its weight. Talk to God, talk to the heavens, and pray. This message is accompanied by a straightforward but effective assessment. Do you have enough faith in God to stay silent? In addition, can you resist the urge to explain, demonstrate, or declare? Individuals who pass this exam move quickly up the favoritism hierarchy, whereas those who fail frequently face excessively long wait times. You may have already sensed it, a joy too sacred to publicly express, a mix of caution and excitement. The Holy Spirit is confirming his statement through that sensation. Your healing will not be accompanied by noise or disorder, but by divine timing, peace, and order. Heaven will alert you to the appropriate time to speak through results rather than words. Archangel Michael is currently close to you, ensuring that what is rightfully yours is protected before you even realize it. Keep your feet on the ground, be grateful, and act in accordance with your faith until then. Drink water on purpose, take breaks when your body tells you to, and push yourself in your current endeavors, because even the smallest acts of obedience contribute to significant, invisible changes. Your spirit was prepared to receive this message, so it was delivered to you. Most people would have dismissed or ignored the situation, but you persisted and listened. This alone convinces Archangel Michael that he can trust you. This is critical to remember. The gift that God is about to bestow on you does not require validation. Rather, it requires protection. Silence now leads to celebration, whereas secrecy now leads to security. Recognize this quietly, ensure its security, and monitor the outcome. Take a deep breath as you listen to this layer. Archangel Michael is currently discussing what will happen after today's events have started to affect you. Many people believe that blessings are accompanied by immediate confirmation and loud noises. However, heaven usually operates in the opposite way. The events in your life will appear calm from the outside, but they will be unstoppable on the inside. This is how you will know that it is truly from God. According to Archangel Michael, the first sign of this transformation will be an internal shift. Your thoughts will naturally begin to change. The weight of worry will lift, and old fears about your finances, body, and future will begin to fade. You may not be aware of it at first, but you will eventually realize that the thing that used to make you panic no longer has any influence over you. This is no coincidence. It is a divine realignment. Your health will gradually change, not in a dramatic or abrupt way, but from within. This is because your body has been listening to every word you've said to it for years, whether positive or negative. The script is currently being rewritten by heaven. According to Archangel Michael, your cells respond to peace, and stress is eliminated at its source as you rest, sleep, and even breathe more deeply. So, do not try to speed up this sacred process by comparing yourself to others. Simultaneously, wealth, energy, or divinely ordered provision is moving toward you. However, you must remain vigilant. It will not be accomplished through desperation, but rather through consensus. Archangel Michael is directing your actions to keep you from wasting your time and energy. You will feel a sense of urgency to make decisions, avoid distractions, and focus on a single task rather than several. This narrowing yields precision rather than loss. Some of you may want to organize your finances, streamline your daily routines, or declutter your home. This is not just a coincidence. Initially, God removes the disorder to help you develop. The order facilitates the receipt of additional items. It is critical to pay close attention to these gentle instructions, as even minor acts of obedience can yield significant rewards. Please listen to this warning with compassion. Do not seek approval from others during this time, as your mindset will improve as you feel better and opportunities will arise. You will be tempted to provide an explanation, hint, or test reactions, but you should resist this urge. According to Archangel Michael, silence remains your safeguard. The blessing is still in the process of laying its groundwork, and premature exposure undermines the progress that is being made. In addition, your emotions are being addressed. Old wounds that you thought were insignificant are being addressed by God, which is why memories may unexpectedly resurface, not to cause pain, but to liberate you. Allow them to cry if necessary, as the healing process is not always easy, but it is always for a good reason. Be aware, chosen one, that not everyone in your vicinity intends to accompany you to your destination. As a result, some relationships will inevitably end, while others will feel distant and uninterrupted. Do not seek explanations, because God's act of mercy is not punishment, but rather a transformation of one's surroundings that occurs when one is elevated. Archangel Michael is also improving your discernment. You will learn when to speak up, when to remain silent, when to move, and when to wait. Your health and wealth will be protected by this inner knowing. Do not let fear or logic undermine your faith in it. I expect you to take action now that this message has reached the deepest levels of your being. I don't mean this as a burden, but rather as a point of convergence. If this term resonates with you and you feel calm rather than disoriented, please perform this simple act of consent. Please distribute this message to someone who needs it without disclosing your own blessing. Also, please refrain from leaving comments about your personal circumstances. Alternatively, you can leave a comment to express your religious beliefs. If you have not already subscribed, you should do so immediately, because these messages are not sent at random. Rather, they are sent at the appropriate time. No, your assistance is more than just assistance. It is an active participation. Through interaction, you establish a connection with the flow of this message, allowing it to be transmitted to those actively seeking confirmation through silent prayer. Archangel Michael warns that time is running out. The whisper that began has progressed. However, consistency is required for advancement. Therefore, it is critical to remain present, open, and grounded. You may be curious about the length of this process. However, heaven does not function on the basis of impatience. Certain outcomes will occur quickly, while others will emerge gradually over time. Do not judge progress solely on its rate. Rather, evaluate it in terms of tranquility. If peace is progressing, you're on the right track. I'd like to emphasize this point before getting into the details. The following events will bring together all of your current experiences. However, a large number of people fail to recognize it due to a sudden loss of concentration. You must listen to Archangel Michael's next statement, as it will provide clarity and change everything. Now, my beloved, the message takes on even more significance, as Archangel Michael informs us of the reason for the secrecy surrounding this blessing, as well as the secrets protected by the silence. You are experiencing a shift in the covenant level. Covenant blessings are consistently concealed before they are revealed. Archangel Michael asserts that your destiny has been surrounded by unseen resistance for a long time. This is not due to your vulnerability, but to the value of the items you own. The adversary does not waste time attacking barren landscapes. The stress you felt in previous seasons, the delays that no one could explain, and the unexpected setbacks that occurred just as things appeared to be coming together were not arbitrary. They indicated that something valuable was growing within you. Allow this to permeate your consciousness. Today did not only open one door, but also permanently closed others. Your family's long-standing financial struggles are being disrupted, and cycles of sickness, exhaustion, and emotional heaviness are coming to an end. However, privacy is required for sealing. There should be no doubt, anger, or opinion that can alter what the divine has sealed. Archangel Michael is showing you that the words spoken by certain people in your vicinity may be motivated by fear, despite their apparent love for you. They are skeptical of positive news and believe that past failures will prevent future promises from being fulfilled. Silence is not rejection in this case. Rather, it is preservation. Your body is responding to this protection because stress is one of the most harmful factors to your health and thrives in the presence of noise. The nervous system remains in survival mode because of the constant need to defend, explain, or prove. Heaven is quieting the environment to help your body heal internally. This is a demonstration of divine intelligence in action. Additionally, wealth is being monitored. According to Archangel Michael, the next stage of provision requires confidence, focus, and clarity. Comparison is the result of pre-exposure. This season is characterized by discretion, as comparison creates uncertainty, disrupting the flow. At the right time, your results will be more persuasive than any announcement. Also, a spiritual inheritance is being activated. Some of you are the first in your family to reach this level of alignment with God, breaking silent agreements formed out of fear, lack, or survival. This type of breakthrough is typically low-key at first, but it is later met with surprise due to its rapidity. In today's world, it is not uncommon to feel more cautious about the language you use. You are not becoming more distant, but rather more selective. Archangel Michael is increasing your awareness and teaching you when to speak up and when to remain silent. This information will ensure your safety for an extended period of time after the season ends. If you're paying attention, the following truth will make you wonder if anything is really changing. This is because the transformation begins within you first, before it manifests externally. Faith is required at this point. Make sure your feet remain on the ground. Faith is distinguished by quiet trust rather than outright confidence. If you are going through this transformation, express it aloud right now. Archangel Michael claims that heaven is watching your reaction to this secret not as a form of punishment, but as a means of preparing you, as only those who are capable of fulfilling their commitments can be trusted to do so. Type, "I receive this quietly and fully" in the comments section, and let your spirit align with the message that heaven is already sending. You're currently demonstrating that. At the end of this message, a sacred activation is occurring. This is not appropriate for all individuals. It is only intended for people who are feeling calm and confident right now. If this message speaks to you, please indicate in the comments section that you receive it in silence. The blessing code 944 was recently made available to the public. I feel compelled to speak directly to those whose hearts are currently on fire, because this divine secret is being kept for your life. Supporting this endeavor not only benefits a channel, but also facilitates the transmission of light to those who are currently in darkness and are waiting for a message like this. I will cause rivers to rise in drought-stricken areas as you settle on fertile land, declares the Lord. This is not the normal course of action. It is a prophetic response. You are on the verge of entering a fortunate future. Jesus' statement, "Give and heaven will open over you," is not a poem. Every seed you sow grows into oil for your future, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. My sweetheart, the moment has come for you. Have faith, and you will see God multiply the possessions you relinquish. Archangel Michael is currently informing you of the consequences of your continued silence, which will have an impact on your future. The mood has shifted once more toward my chosen one. During this phase, many people inadvertently harm themselves. They are not responsible for any wrongdoing. Rather, they are unaware of God's actions beneath the surface. To avoid any loss, you are being brought to consciousness. Archangel Michael says this season isn't about speed. It refers to stability. Whatever God is creating within you must endure. Under stress, both an excess of health that lacks inner alignment and an excess of wealth that lacks wisdom frequently dissipate in the same way. This is why some items in heaven are moving at a slower rate than others. Although it may not appear to be much going on from the outside, the interior is undergoing complete reconstruction. You may notice that your response style is evolving. Things that once consumed your emotions are no longer as emotionally draining, and people who used to make you feel insecure now appear distant and insignificant. No, it's not numbness. It is improving. When the soul feels secure, the body follows suit, according to Archangel Michael. This suggests that your nervous system is relearning how to feel safe. This is one of the most profound forms of healing. Additionally, your concentration is improving. You're becoming more mindful of your time, energy, and thoughts, and distractions are losing their appeal. This is critical because accuracy is required to arrive at your desired destination. Chaos is not a blessing from God. He blesses order, which originates in the mind. Despite being surrounded by others, you may feel isolated at times. Do not be concerned about this. When you're alone, you can gain a clear understanding of what needs to be done. Discernment is difficult when everything is chaotic, which is why heaven is drawing you in before expanding you outward. Archangel Michael frequently communicates in silence rather than with sound. Pay close attention. This phase will include subtle tests, limited opportunities to complain, spread rumors, and express more than you should. This was not an accident. These are checkpoints. Every time you choose to be patient, rather than act on impulse, you strengthen the protection around your blessing and move closer to fulfillment. Your health journey is also entering a stage of collaboration. God is already taking action, but He wants your help. You may feel compelled to change minor habits, drink more water, or rest more deliberately. These nudges are not random. Archangel Michael claims that following these simple instructions will speed up the healing process that is currently underway. The seeds you planted years ago, such as hard work, patience, learning, and honesty, are starting to sprout in the world of finance. The pressure beneath you is increasing, though you may not have seen any results yet. That pressure is what causes the seed to sprout at the appropriate time. Thus, avoid uncovering it through doubt. Allow it to develop. If this phrase speaks to you, consider sharing it with someone in need of encouragement. When you do, the anointing on it grows stronger, and your own breakthrough spreads throughout the network. Avoid making comparisons this season. Observing people who appear to be ahead of you can cause unnecessary stress. However, it is important to remember that their schedules and responsibilities differ from yours. Your route has been customized to fit your preferences. Archangel Michael claims that what others take years to achieve can be accomplished suddenly by you thanks to your quiet perseverance. In addition, you are gaining emotional maturity. You are gaining the understanding that not all emotions and thoughts require expression. Individuals rarely reach this level of maturity. One of the reasons you were chosen for this level of blessing is God's deep trust in you. That is confirmation if you have ever had a weight lifted from your shoulders without a valid reason. It also confirms whether you have ever felt an immediate sense of calm after a long period of stress. It is also confirmation if you have ever felt a quiet confidence that replaced anxiety. Right now, there is no shouting in heaven. Sealing is underway. Archangel Michael promises that external confirmation will come soon, something tangible and quantifiable. Until then, your responsibilities are straightforward. Maintain your composure. As a result of gratitude, the channel continues to operate. Silence protects the blessing, and discipline strengthens the foundation. Do not underestimate the significance of events that occur during this phase, but are not visible to the naked eye. Many people only remember what is visible, but the work that is invisible ensures that the visible survives. You are preparing for a stress-resistant object. Extend the scope of this message. You do not anticipate a life transformation. It is already evolving, and you are only now catching up to heaven's decisions. Remain steadfast, refrain from speaking out, and be consistent. The following information provided by Archangel Michael will help you understand the connection between your previous challenges and your upcoming reward. Dear one, Archangel Michael would like to emphasize something that is frequently overlooked: the point at which change is irreversible. You are currently transitioning into this phase. It's no longer just about prepping. It also discusses the process of becoming. The foundation that God has been laying within us is becoming so deeply embedded that it is impervious to events, opinions, and temporary delays. According to Archangel Michael, this is the place where your identity is restored. There is no longer a significant level of anxiety about your identity. You are beginning to understand. This knowledge is not shouted. It promotes tranquility. It provides stability. It affects how you enter rooms, manage stress, and behave when you are unsure about the outcome. You may be unaware of it at first, but others will notice. They will have a vague impression of something special about you that they are unable to identify. Your health recovery is moving from improvement to strength. Weakness is being replaced with resilience. Your body is now learning to regulate stress in areas where it used to respond to it. This is why you may notice a gradual return of your energy rather than a sudden surge. God is constructing you in a way that will last. Archangel Michael informs her that she is not being healed just to relieve her symptoms. You are healing in order to carry a larger amount. She then asserts that emotional boundaries are organically developing. You no longer ingest things that are not yours. Others, worries, chaos, and projections keep you from connecting with your inner world. This demonstrates that you are mature and not tough. A cautious heart isn't cold. It's prudent. One's perception of time is also altered. Currently, the sensation of rushing and compulsion is oppressive. You are gaining the ability to navigate with discernment rather than haste. Archangel Michael claims that discernment stems from trust, whereas urgency is frequently caused by fear. This modification will independently protect your health and wealth in the future. Financial alignment is also becoming clearer. Suddenly, you may become aware of the areas where your time, money, or energy are being wasted. You should have no remorse for acknowledging this. It is meant to release you. Before elevating you, God refines your stewardship. You recognize the significance of the items you carry. Some of you will notice that certain desires are diminishing. Things that once gave you joy are no longer effective. A refinement, not a loss. God is removing the cravings that would have kept you from doing what makes you happy. The greater purpose becomes apparent when you relinquish smaller desires, advises Archangel Michael. Do not be surprised if people from your past contact you during this phase. This frequently occurs immediately before elevation. Your old connections can tell you whether you have truly matured from your previous habits. It is unnecessary to revisit matters that God has already resolved. Instead of engaging in a discussion, it is sometimes necessary to make a decision in order to reach a conclusion. Your prayers are evolving spiritually. Not so much for assistance, but for alignment. Signs are less important than strength. This is evidence of development. When received from adults, prayers are immediately heard by heaven. Remain silent in order to understand the significance of Archangel Michael. Your silence gives others more power. When delivered at the right time, your words will have a big impact. People will pay attention. Opportunities will emerge. Because you learn to keep quiet before you learn to speak up. You may continue to have moments of uncertainty. This does not preclude you. Doubt does not imply that one lacks faith. In reality, it may lead to an increase in trust. When in doubt, avoid excessive resistance. Accept it, and then return to the actions that you know God has already taken on your behalf. Please keep this in mind. Movement does not always indicate progress. Making progress gives you a sense of stability. Before we proceed, let's take a moment to align ourselves. It is not a sign of weakness to feel calm, secure, and in control. It is fortitude. Continue to be stationary. Stay grateful. Follow the instructions provided. The events that follow will show that this season is more than just a fleeting moment, but rather the foundation for the years to come. It is now time for my chosen one, Archangel Michael, to talk about endurance. This is the point at which stability turns to identity. Many people have breakthroughs. However, few are able to sustain them without losing their identity. Currently, God is teaching you how to maintain a sense of stability despite the additional weight you are carrying. It is possible that this phase is more peaceful than the previous ones. However, this does not mean that nothing is happening. Heaven is establishing patterns. Your schedule is evolving. Your responses are improving, and tasks that used to require effort are now completed effortlessly. Peace is now something you protect rather than pursue, indicating your maturity. A new pattern is currently influencing your health. Instead of fluctuations, there are steady highs and lows. You may still experience fatigue on occasion, but it is less distressing. Your body is currently communicating with you in a clear and audible way. You are aware of the proper times to rest and move. According to Archangel Michael, this awareness is part of divine intelligence returning to you. Many people ignore their physical well-being until an incident occurs that demands their attention. However, you are gaining knowledge prior to an incident, which is an indication of wisdom. Discretion is now required in previously stressful situations. When you respond, you pause. You think carefully before making a decision. This pause is significant because it is when God communicates most clearly. Making hasty decisions deprives one of blessings, whereas deliberate decisions increase them. This is a period of fiscal consolidation. Currently, the focus is not solely on growth. Certain endeavors involve fortifying what is already there. Gaps are being identified as things start to come together. You may be forced to reconsider, organize, or change your plans. This is referred to as reinforcement rather than delay. According to Archangel Michael, the current strengthening will allow for future expansion without the risk of collapse. You may find it beneficial to revert to your previous behaviors on occasion, especially when under stress. That is acceptable, because growth does not erase memories. However, track the progression of your response. Before the pattern takes hold, you are aware of it, which demonstrates your progress. It is also beneficial to establish a clear understanding of relationships at this point. You can now distinguish between those who deplete you and those who tell you the truth. Although you may not take action on every realization, you now have a better understanding of the situation. Clarity discourages you from acting quickly. It desires that you be prudent. Archangel Michael tells you that maintenance is sacred. Many people disregard their current miracles in favor of seeking new ones. However, you are learning to maintain the resources that God has bestowed upon you, and heaven values this type of stewardship. If the progress appears to be less exciting at this time, it is best to take it easy. Destiny does not require excitement. The most remarkable things in the world are frequently a calm mind, a steady body, and a clear goal. It is impossible to buy or force these alignment indicators to manifest. You may notice that your communication style is evolving. Despite the fact that you speak less frequently, your words are more meaningful when you do. You're more attentive. Quietness no longer feels awkward. It is currently experiencing an intense sensation. According to Archangel Michael, people who are secure do not need to be in a noisy environment. People are also becoming more confident in the accuracy of timing. You do not have an immediate need for results. You are aware that events that unfold gradually typically last for a long time. This isn't passive patience. Trust is something you can act on. Do not interpret boredom or restlessness as signs of failure. After long periods of survival, the soul needs time to adjust to tranquility. Peace may appear unfamiliar at first, so give yourself some time to adjust. Consistency in the unseen is also an issue during this stage. Even when no one is applauding, do what brings you joy, as God perceives what others do not. Archangel Michael claims that the unseen work you're currently doing is simplifying the future. Remember that your goal is not to impress anyone, but to remain compliant. When things are going well, comparison will try to infiltrate your life. Resist it. Your journey is distinctive. Take a deep breath and process this reality. Your journey doesn't end with stability. It is the location from which you will take on greater responsibility. God creates platforms in a discreet manner. You are having more success than you anticipate. You are now developing the ability to manage the things for which you previously prayed in order to sustain your life. Maintain your faith in the mundane, your discipline in the peaceful, and your gratitude in the consistent. The following message from Archangel Michael will help you recognize the impending expansion while also maintaining the balance that you have worked so hard to achieve. Archangel Michael, my beloved, now talks about the importance of recognizing and restraining oneself, as this is the point at which visibility begins to increase. Fruit cannot remain underground indefinitely, so it is no longer possible to conceal what was previously hidden. This season is especially challenging, so it is best to prioritize peace over excitement. You may have noticed that people are currently responding to you in a different way. When you enter a room, the tone of the conversation changes, and your words appear to be more important. Some will ask about your thoughts, while others will simply observe you. This is not an accident. It's an influence. Ego is not granted authority. According to Archangel Michael, it is given as a symbol of accountability. At this point, it is critical to strike a healthy balance. You have more strength, however, you must learn to apply it. If you are not cautious, an excessive level of dedication could jeopardize your advancement. Acquire the ability to decline requests without explanation. You are not obligated to meet expectations that God has not set for you, because preservation is as sacred as productivity. This is the point at which confidence must be emotionally grounded in humility. Faith in God is stable. Faith in the approval of others is unstable. As a result, try to remain grounded in reality rather than reacting to it. Praise can be just as distracting as criticism if it becomes your source. Now the chances of financial success may be improving. Discrimination is necessary because some people will agree while others will only appear attractive. Archangel Michael advises us not to confuse momentum and authorization. Pray before making a decision, because peace will always support what logic cannot. It may be tempting to speed up the process, especially if you can see tangible progress, but resist the urge. Rushing frequently causes stress in the future because expansion is prioritized over structure. God is always punctual and never late. You must also maintain your discipline during this phase. There is no need for additional effort. Maintain consistency in your connection, prayer, reflection, and expression of gratitude. These are no longer just emergency tools. They serve as the basis for responsible stewardship. The amount you can carry in the future will be determined by the amount you maintain in the present. It is critical to understand that not everyone who supports you is aware of the difficulties you have faced. They are only aware of the results, not the costs, and you are not required to instruct them. Allow your life to be a voice of reason. Silence remains your ally. Pause for a moment. Now is the time to engage on purpose, provided that this message resonates with your life. Distribute this message to people who are silently dealing with the same issue. Distribute it to someone who needs help without being observed. Submitting a comment is permissible as a straightforward declaration of faith. If you haven't already, please subscribe to stay up to date. The current event is part of a larger sequence that is meant to be experienced in its entirety. You're not concerned with numerical values. It is related to consensus. This participation enables you to align with the message that God is releasing. In addition, this season features a more subtle examination. The consistency test. When faced with adversity, many people pursue God with zeal. However, they stop doing so when things improve. Archangel Michael advises against taking this course of action. You express gratitude rather than fear. Please maintain your connection. If you notice that your intuition is becoming more acute at this time, believe it. When something does not feel right, pause and then proceed steadily. This inner guidance should be treated as a gift. During this stage, comparison may try to resurface, especially if you see others making rapid progress. It is important to remember that fasting does not always imply faithfulness. Planned work is the cornerstone of durability. You're not trailing. You're already in the lead. If you start to feel impatient, think about how far you've come and how much silence and chaos you've experienced. Your prayers have been answered with stability. If you notice this stability establishing itself in your life, make a bold statement in the comments section. I am steady, protected, and aligned. This phase is not meant to draw any conclusions. The goal is to sustain all aspects. Individuals capable of perseverance, according to Archangel Michael, can be trusted with greater responsibilities. Before proceeding to the next message, it is critical that you understand the following. The following revelation is not about obtaining anything. It is about safeguarding the future. A large number of people have failed in this regard. You plan to remain in your current location. Stay focused on your goals. Be grateful and believe in the process. The promise is protected for an extended period of time by subsequent events that establish a link to the future. Archangel Michael, my chosen one, now speaks with weight and comfort as this stage pertains to inheritance. Not what you gain for a short time, but what endures and grows beyond your control. At this point, many people misinterpret God's work. They perceive blessings as an event, whereas heaven sees them as a system, a way of life that provides happiness, health, and sustenance over time. You are currently developing the ability to live without constantly feeling overwhelmed. You made long-term decisions based on survival mode. Despite the fact that things were going well, you prepared for disappointment, dealt with stress, and planned around fear. That mode is disintegrating. According to Archangel Michael, one of the most obvious signs of the beginning of healing is when the mind stops picturing negative events and the future becomes clear on its own. This transformation is reflected in your physical form. Healing is no longer desired. It is a matter that you keep. You no longer exert yourself to prove your worth because you are aware of your limitations and value the energy you possess. Wisdom-derived strength lasts longer than fear-derived strength, and this balance is what will ensure your future safety. You're moving into an emotional state of self-trust. There is no longer any need to second-guess your decisions. You reflect on the situation, pray, and then proceed calmly. Despite the lack of clarity, your internal world remains consistent. This level of stability is extremely uncommon. It is acquired through obedience and patience rather than having a specific personality. This phase defines value in monetary terms. You're no longer impressed by a person's appearance. Pay close attention, my dearest offspring. This message is not arriving late or by accident. Michael, the Archangel, is currently ascending due to the passage of time. The information that follows is extremely personal, important, and sensitive. Very good news is already on its way to you, and the next 5 hours will be unlike any others. They are marked. What are they? Guards are present, and the consequences of ignoring this moment will be more severe than you realize. This is Archangel Michael's statement. Even though many people will hear it, few will truly understand it. Those few were the ones who stuck to their guns even when others delayed, mocked, or scrolled. Something that has been suppressed for a long time is finally being released, and there is only so much time to do so. This is why your spirit felt compelled to immediately open this message. Slowly listen to this. The good news is not accidental. It is about a decision that you nearly abandoned. This is about a supplication you recited privately. Despite resistance, confusion, and delay, Archangel Michael has remained in the background. The final wall is now being demolished. However, you must not disregard this warning. If you ignore this message and say, "I'll be back later," or if you allow doubt to keep you from paying attention, you will regret missing a divine moment. Archangel Michael refrains from making threats. He explains the outcomes. This is a critical hour, and failing to respond will result in profound sorrow when you realize that help was summoned and you refused. We will see a shift in the information we have over the next 5 hours, dear ones. Initially, a contact, message, insight, or opportunity will arise quietly. It may not appear to be especially exciting. It may manifest as a small object. Archangel Michael believes that what appears to be insignificant will reveal something significant. This explains why intelligence is so important at this time. You have requested comfort, comprehension, and affirmation. Heaven received your message sooner than you expected. However, you were required to specify the exact time you intended to communicate. Opponents of your advancement have argued that you are inconsistent, unworthy, or unprepared. Michael, the Archangel, silenced the murmurs with a single statement. This baby has been through an inordinate amount of hardship. Presently, pay close attention. Restoration is associated with good tidings. You are having a previously refused, delayed, or taken item examined again. This could be related to your finances, reputation, relationships, or a path you thought was permanently closed. The door was never closed, says Archangel Michael. You were unable to endure it until you were sufficiently resilient to avoid breaking. Please keep in mind the emotional intensity of the next 5 hours. You may feel a sudden sense of urgency, calm, or the need to act quickly. There is no reason for concern. That is the process of aligning. Most of the time, the pace of heaven is beyond our ability to comprehend. If you delay, fear will try to change the situation. Archangel Michael also cautions you not to become distracted. Avoid arguments, negative conversations, and aimless browsing during these hours. This message was delivered to you for a specific purpose. Your attention is now valuable in the spiritual realm. The outcome depends on where it is placed. Pay close attention to this information. You will not have to search for good news. It will appear only once. When you observe something, it transforms your existence. If you ignore it, you will later regret not paying attention to your spirit's command. You, beloved child, are not lagging. You are extremely close to the precipice. According to Archangel Michael, angels are already establishing things, softening souls, and opening channels. However, you must maintain a state of awareness, focus, and receptivity. Avoid making disparaging remarks about oneself during this time. Attempt not to harbor pessimistic thoughts. Right now, your words are important. Speak with anticipation, even if you are unsure. Heaven values posture over perfection. This message is just the beginning. The upcoming events contain critical information that cannot be overlooked. Because your reaction to the good news will depend on how well you understand it. People frequently fail not due to a lack of luck, but because they fail to recognize their opportunities. Stick to me. The following message from Archangel Michael will completely change your perspective on these 5 hours. I need you to lay a solid foundation right now, because we're about to make a big step. This is the point at which a large number of people lose the blessing. It is not due to a lack of choice, but rather a failure to respond to heaven's inquiry. I'd like you to leave a comment right away, expressing a single deeply felt word. Amen. This isn't a custom. It is a declaration that your spirit is aware, that you are ready to receive the release, and that nothing will detract from the path that destiny has chosen for you. When you type that word, it is more than just a comment. You are instructing heaven to act on your behalf. Time is running out, so complete the task right away. Choose one, take a deep breath, and let your pulse relax. Simply because the information that Archangel Michael is now conveying is more than thrilling. It refers to the preparation process. The good news will arrive within the next 5 hours, not because heaven has sped up the process, but because all of the necessary components have been prepared for you. You requested outcomes for an extended period of time without understanding their significance. This portal has opened as your spirit matured. Archangel Michael is currently informing you that you must make a significant change in your thought process. Be aware that positive news may not be received in the same way as others. Comparison has previously caused delays for you, and it will do so once more. The item you're receiving is made specifically for you. It is suitable for your journey, injuries, and fortitude. When looking to the left or right, one may lose sight of one's immediate surroundings. Your name has been the source of a private dispute. It may not have been obvious to you, but it manifested as unexpected fatigue, unfounded doubt, or moments when you questioned your worth. According to Archangel Michael, those were not just feelings. Prior to this hour, resistance existed with the intention of impeding your progress. You continued to listen, which is why the resistance was ineffective. Now pay close attention. For the next 5 hours, you will be emotionally tested before fully accepting the good news. There is no doubt that this examination is difficult. It could appear as irritability, impatience, or a desire to give up just before the breakthrough. A large number of people have fallen in this location. They lose their optimism just minutes before receiving affirmation. Archangel Michael desires that you keep your posture. Avoid haste. Please don't be afraid. Do not pursue signals excessively. The events that are supposed to happen to you are already happening in a precise manner. Keep in mind that your role is not to enforce, but to maintain communication and accessibility. Please do not hesitate to respond to a message, make a phone call, confirm information, or tell the truth if you are inclined to do so. Major things happen when you comply in minor ways. Archangel Michael also wishes to inform you that this good news is accompanied by responsibilities. It is more than just pleasure. Repositioning is currently underway. Your position is undergoing transformation. Currently, your decisions will have a greater impact on others than in the past. This is why the preparations are so difficult. Heaven doesn't ascend without caution. If you experience emotional distress during these hours, don't take it as a sign of failure. Pressure usually precedes release. A diamond cannot be created through mere luxury. Archangel Michael wishes you to remember that the experiences you've had were not punishment, but rather a form of training. The results are just beginning to emerge. Be aware of the time. Although the good news may not come in the way you expected, you will feel a strong sense of confirmation when it does. You will feel a sense of calm and assurance in your chest. That is how you will know if it is genuine. Fear will not accompany it. It will not be characterized by confusion. Peace will be prioritized over other issues, even if they must be resolved later. In addition, you should use caution when speaking. Avoid expressing negative sentiments about the situation, other people, or yourself. Currently, the duration of the echo of what people say is longer than is typical. Tell the truth. Even silence can be effective in this context. According to Archangel Michael, withholding protects the object being relinquished. I'd like to clarify this. This message is not pleasant to read. It's a recommendation. If it affects you, don't hide it. Others may be on the verge of a similar revelation, but they may be unaware of it until they receive confirmation. As a result, we respectfully request that you take a moment to like this message, forward it to a friend in need of hope, and leave a comment indicating that you are ready to receive the blessings that God has in store for you. When you do this, you are not simply providing assistance to a channel. In addition, you are starting an agreement. If you haven't already, now is the time to subscribe. Not because of their consistent behavior, but because it is inconsistent with their ideals. These messages were not published by accident. They appear at specific intervals. Maintaining communication is critical to maintaining one's position. Engaging indicates spiritual readiness. Archangel Michael is in charge of overseeing this transformation. You are not going on an expedition into the unknown by yourself. You're being directed to a specific location. What appeared to be a delay is now moving at a faster rate. Do not let past disappointments keep you from enjoying the present. It is critical to remain alert, composed, and prepared. The upcoming events will highlight the importance of precise sequencing. Once this is understood, everything that has occurred in the past will become clear. Your heart is beating a little faster as you listen, dear soul. Archangel Michael is currently revealing why this favorable information could only be delivered now rather than an hour ago. Timing encompasses more than just readiness. It is intended to keep you safe. The protection of the resources you are receiving was required until the opposition could not interfere with them. According to Archangel Michael, your petitions were acknowledged for a long time, but they were purposefully postponed. Not denied, but postponed. While you waited, certain people, energies, and locations were discreetly relocated to make way. Certain connections failed to function for no apparent reason. Certain entrances close automatically. It felt painful and illogical at the time. You're beginning to realize that those actions were gentle. If the positive news had been delivered while the individuals were still close together, it could have been tampered with, stolen, or misused. This is why heaven kept its grip. You were being enhanced, not rejected. The Archangel Michael wishes for you to understand a critical issue at this time. The upcoming good news is more than just a solution to a problem. The issue is the restoration of power. You're reclaiming the prestige and confidence that life tried to take away from you. This is more than just superficial contentment. This is known as internal alignment. When it arrives, you may feel melancholy or overwhelmed. This is not due to your vulnerability, rather, it is the result of your deep understanding of the truth. Do not be surprised if your emotions change rapidly. It is possible for tears to flow without any signs of sadness. You may feel relaxed before you understand why. This is the message your spirit is sending before your mind can understand it. Archangel Michael claims that this serves as proof that it is genuine. False breakthroughs create noise. The genuine ones create harmony. Now pay close attention. The good news is accompanied by a choice. It does not compel you to do so, but it does extend an invitation. You will have the option of continuing your faith or returning to your previous knowledge. Sticking to one's familiarity may provide a sense of security, but it will eventually undermine the original's resurgence. Your life will improve, but you will feel negative emotions as a result of your bravery. Archangel Michael advises you to make decisions based on your desire to trust and grow, not your fear of failure. Someone who witnessed this expressed dissatisfaction with the delay in their arrival. Let go of your remorse right now. You did not arrive late. You appeared in good health when you arrived. Heaven does not speed up the process of reuniting shattered objects with their original purpose. The side excursions were meticulously organized. In addition, validation will occur in the near future. This message will be perfectly complemented by something you read, hear, or recall within the next 5 hours. It will seem too precise to be a coincidence. If that happens, simply acknowledge it in a quiet manner. It is unnecessary for you to disclose this information to everyone. Silence is frequently used initially to protect sacred objects. Michael, the Archangel, wishes to let you know that you are not alone in this transition. Angels are sent to help people control their emotions and improve their judgment. If you are feeling uncomfortable, it is best to take a break. If something feels right, don't be afraid to follow your instincts. Currently, reason protects you. Pause for a moment, as the subsequent events will connect your previous experiences to the upcoming event. Furthermore, the importance of this innovation may be overlooked if the link is not visible. Before we begin, please obtain this prophetic activation. If this message resonates with you, please leave a comment with your positive news. The benediction code 555 has been sent to you. As soon as this boon begins to manifest, you will receive this message of encouragement. This message is not intended only for you. It is a light designed to shine on people who are nearing the end of their lives. When you give, you light a lamp that will continue to burn for the souls who are only one message away from hope. God says, "I will return to you, pressed down and overflowing, what you contribute to my work." I am compelled to inform you that your assistance helps others move from hopelessness to clarity. The good news did not come out of thin air. Please keep in mind that each seed you plant in this quest will grow into a torch that shines light into another's darkness. Your activities contribute to a heavenly mission to save lost souls. Heaven progresses through the words of those who are willing, but it grows through the goodness of their souls. I'm currently addressing you in this method. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. The verse, "Give and it will be given to you," does not only apply to Jesus. It is an ongoing commitment that affects your future. I'd want to extend an invitation to you at this time through a simple act of trust. Approach this situation with a feeling of purpose, honesty, and hope. The amount you contribute today is not a donation. Your heavens are opened by the act of spiritual obedience. Relinquish your seed and witness what rewards God delivers into your life. Archangel Michael advises you to ignore the external commotion and concentrate on the subterranean activity in order to gain a more profound understanding of the situation. Positive news is more than just an event. It is a transformation of one's identity. You were only concerned with sustaining your life for an extended period. You learned to overcome adversity and deal with disappointment. However, endurance is no longer the goal. The order is to proceed. According to Archangel Michael, a significant number of people remain stuck not because of a lack of positive events, but because they continue to adhere to the version of themselves that was created for difficult circumstances. It saved your life during storms that were supposed to kill you. However, attempting to maintain that identity will impede the situation's expansion. The good news is accompanied by an invitation to abandon traditional coping mechanisms and adopt a trusting attitude. This is why, despite rising hopes, some people feel unusually uneasy. Painful comfort zones are perceived to be more secure than unfamiliar calm zones. Archangel Michael wishes that you recognize this tension without allowing it to take over your life. Pain does not always indicate that there is an imminent threat. It may also refer to development in general. Furthermore, you must understand this revelation about timing. There may be people who believe they have made more progress, met more goals, or reached major milestones than you. Their expenses, which were hidden from you, were not apparent. Archangel Michael stated that your route was delayed for safety reasons. Certain shortcuts would have lowered your morale. At certain speeds, you would have been carrying a burden that was not intended for you. You are now complete because you have arrived. As the hours pass, the good news will start to change your perspective on the past. Years that appeared to be squandered will now manifest as periods of preparation. The skills you developed as a result of necessity will suddenly prove useful. You will be sought out for your wisdom as a result of the emotional intelligence you have gained from your experiences with suffering. There were no losses. It was stored. Archangel Michael is also directly addressing dread. People are concerned that something bad will happen after the situation has finally improved. This dread was not inherent in any individual. Learned. When you were repeatedly disappointed, your nervous system learned to be more vigilant. However, this pattern is coming to a close. It is possible to receive without anticipating the outcome. It is no longer necessary to maintain optimism. Pay close attention to your actions over the next few hours. If you find it difficult to accept good news at first, take a break and let it sink in. Learning to receive after being in survival mode for an extended period of time requires practice. Archangel Michael says it's okay to take some time to adjust to new situations. Grace manages the learning curve. There is also an appeal for candor. The upcoming blessing is beneficial. However, it is critical to manage it correctly. It is not your responsibility to invent, use as a weapon, or emphasize a point. It will be protected by its self-confidence. Let time speak for itself. Heaven appreciates meek people because it allows them to enter. Someone here has been wondering if they are truly receiving assistance from the unseen or if they are simply fabricating indications. This section applies to you. Archangel Michael confirms that you have been guided in more direct ways than you realize. Interventions included unexpected delays, abrupt course changes, and close calls. You avoided events that were unexpected and could have happened. It is now time to express gratitude for the assistance provided through a simple but effective action. You are beginning the flow of God's favor over your life. When you click the like button right now, you are doing more than just responding to a video. In today's world, the like option is a blessing. Heaven recognizes your awareness of divine intervention, your gratitude for protection that was not visible to you, and your preparation for future experiences. Consider clicking your thumb as a way of allowing God's goodness to flow into your life with each click. Gratitude will inevitably rise as clarity grows. In addition, the way people communicate with you may change. Some people may participate in the festivities, while others may choose not to. Do not let either response cause you any distress. Alignment alters how objects are transported. Not everyone is supposed to join you as you embark on the next chapter. Release your anger. As this situation persists, avoid disrupting your usual routines. Allow yourself to unwind, enjoy some refreshments, and connect with nature. It is critical to prioritize one's physical health, even during spiritual occasions. Archangel Michael emphasizes the significance of equilibrium. Excessive spirituality can cause fatigue, just as neglecting the present can lead to feelings of regret. Right now, a more profound truth is emerging. The ultimate goal is not to deliver positive news. Don't. It leads to the entrance. Beyond it are responsibilities, power, and a purpose that go beyond your personal comfort. You are being prepared to be a stabilizing influence for others. See, this is why you improved your skills so much. Remember this if you start to feel doubt again. It is unnecessary to make an effort to obtain what is intended for you. Consensus is required. Accept yourself. Despite the fact that the specifics are still unknown, the agreement allows access to channels that would otherwise be inaccessible. Currently, Archangel Michael is composed, precise, and unwavering. There is no pandemonium currently in progress. Plans for all aspects are in the works. Have faith in the rhythm. Pay attention to the pauses. Have faith in the situation. Please do not leave this message. The subsequent revelation will tell you what actions your spirit will advise you to take in real life. Furthermore, understanding those procedures will keep you from feeling uncertain or hesitant before taking action. A beautiful soul. Archangel Michael now wants you to focus on progressing from the inside out. Because every divine transformation requires a response from people at some point. The good news you are anticipating is more than just an idea. In other words, it refers to action, decision, and direction. For many people, this is when they begin to have reservations. They lack faith because they are afraid of making a mistake. The path creation is not requested of you. You're being asked to identify it. Fear is understandable, but it is no longer necessary, according to Archangel Michael. There is already an account for the current events. A peaceful thought that persists. A more thorough understanding of an issue you had previously postponed. A gentle but consistent sensation that it is time to move in a particular direction. This isn't stress. This is the direction. According to Archangel Michael, divine guidance is usually more subdued than fear. Fear screams. The guidance becomes more robust. If you find yourself overthinking, imagining the worst-case scenario, or acting out scenarios, it's time to stop. The noise in question does not convey a message. When you receive guidance, no matter how difficult it is, you will feel more stable. Determine the difference between urgency and anxiety. Pushing will cause the other to align. At this point, it is critical to understand an important aspect of pace. It's important to strike a balance between speed and slowness. Delaying obedience may appear to be a wise decision. However, it is frequently the result of fear disguised as a rational facade. Archangel Michael prefers that you move at a pace that prioritizes clarity over uncertainty. A single step in the right direction is more effective than 10 steps in the wrong direction. Additionally, you may encounter resistance in unexpected places. Someone may question your decision. Things may appear to be slightly inconvenient. It may appear that the timing is off. This does not imply that you've deviated from your intended path. Resistance frequently appears to be a test of your commitment, rather than a roadblock to your progress. Do not assume that a minor amount of friction requires a retreat. Growth frequently causes a decrease in comfort levels before an increase in stability. Archangel Michael is also conveying to you that you do not need everyone's approval to progress. Approval seeking may impair your judgment. You have already received the confirmation you require from within the organization. While external opinions may help to improve specifics, they should not be used to determine the course of action. Rely on the information that has been conveyed to you multiple times. In this case, an additional truth is revealed. Positive news is linked to the act of being a good steward. It is critical to be strategic about how you use your resources, opportunities, relationships, and power. The manner in which you manage the first section sets the tone for the subsequent sections. Smaller choices are more significant than larger actions. Being faithful in small things protects larger outcomes. If you want to say everything right away, wait a moment. Initially, it is prudent to keep things private. While you should not isolate yourself emotionally, Archangel Michael advises, some blessings require time to take root before being exposed to outside energy. Protect what's new. Not everyone requires access to your process. Choose 1 or 2 trustworthy people who will respect your boundaries and tell you the truth. The term community does not refer to a crowd. Help does not imply being exposed. Maintaining balance will help you stay rooted. And, along with the good news, there is a healing process going on. As the process of moving forward begins, unresolved feelings from the past may surface for a brief period of time. You may recall old hurts, disappointments, or memories that you thought were resolved. Hana, this isn't going backward. This is freedom. They are coming to the surface because they can no longer hold on. Don't judge them as they pass. You are not entering this season unprepared. The Archangel Michael reassures you. The skills you learned without realizing it are now becoming tools. You develop patience by having to wait. Disappointment made people more cautious. Being alone strengthens you. There was no accident. Everything shaped me. As you move forward, keep peace in mind. Peace does not imply that there are no problems. It indicates that there is confidence. Even if the tasks seem strange, there will be peace beneath. If there is no more peace, pause and reconsider. Peace is always at the center of alignment. Another thing you're told is not to romanticize the future at the expense of the now. Happiness is more than just results. You can find it through obedience, growth, and being present. Enjoy your progress without putting too much pressure on yourself to achieve it right away. Consistency, not intensity, is what drives change. The message from Archangel Michael is firm. The way you're moving is correct. What you are hearing is correct. The answer you provide is real-time. Doubt may still whisper, but it no longer rules. As action takes the place of thought, confidence will increase. Pay close attention. The next insight will discuss how to continue building on what has been accomplished, so that this good news does not become a fleeting high. The next thing you learn will help you maintain your balance as your speed increases. Archangel Michael has spoken very clearly to you, beloved, about stability. Because what is happening in your life isn't supposed to be a quick rise followed by chaos. Its purpose is to firmly establish you. It can be overwhelming to handle breakthroughs without a solid foundation. And good news does not fall from heaven without thought. This season requires calm, rooted, and long-lasting strength rather than fleeting excitement. Because the good news is spreading, things may seem to move faster around you. More conversations occur. Decisions occur more frequently. Some responsibilities may grow. Opportunities may arise more frequently than in the past. According to Archangel Michael, this speeding up is not intended to stress you out, but rather to show you whether you are grounded. If you are not grounded, momentum can be chaotic. However, if you are grounded, momentum can be beneficial. One of the first things you're expected to protect is your inner balance. When relief after a long wait arrives, emotions can range from one extreme to the other. Some people wait for bad things to happen before taking action. Some people become overconfident and believe that nothing can go wrong. They both pull you out of alignment. It's stable in the center. Being grateful without worrying. Confidence without pride. Hope without impatience. Walking with this balance is indicative of spiritual maturity. Archangel Michael also helps you become aware of patterns in your daily life. It is more important than ever to consider how you begin and end the day. You don't need intense or frequent rituals. Following the rules will help you stay safe. Maintain the quality of your food. Get an adequate amount of sleep. Preserve your water supply. Your body serves as a conduit for your spirit. As a result, it is critical that you maintain it. Disregarding physical needs can distort spiritual discernment. It's both prudent and cautious. It is not necessary to rush through every open door. There are doors that open to assess your wisdom, not just your obedience. Archangel Michael advises us to think carefully before making a decision. It is critical that we assess whether an opportunity is aligned with our current goals or is simply a means to satisfy our ancient desires for approval, validation, or liberation. Even after blessings are bestowed, discernment remains active. Another challenge that may arise during this phase is the desire to provide an explanation. As people begin to observe your progress, they may ask a question. Some people will be intrigued. Doubters will exist. Some people may even be at risk. You are not required to explain your development. Excessive explanations waste time and energy while also forming unnecessary opinions. Do not hesitate to take a consistent approach. Being wise in silence is possible. Archangel Michael is also talking about how you talk to yourself. Pay close attention to the thoughts that emerge as things begin to improve. Know that your mind was in survival mode when you entertained thoughts like, "This won't last," or "I don't deserve this." Previously, you relied on them to remain alert during difficult times. However, that is no longer the case. Slowly replace them with the truth. You aren't fortunate. You maintain synchronization. You do not anticipate that things will unravel. You're making the situation more stable. It is critical that we understand an important aspect of energy stewardship at this time. You lack the emotional resources to do so because you are not a male. Consider how you allocate your time, attention, and emotional energy. Refusing an offer is not synonymous with rejection. It ensures your safety. If you take on too much responsibility, you will undermine the foundation you are trying to build. As the season progresses, people may come to rely on you more. Some people will seek assistance. Some people will want to be around you. There will be people who want to use your time. Influence is more prevalent than ever, and it must be carefully managed. Assist others without taking on their issues. Compassion does not imply self-neglect. Archangel Michael asserts that it is possible to be compassionate without feeling overwhelmed. During this time, faith should not be shaky. Do not wait for a difficult situation to reconnect with your spiritual side. Trusting, being grateful on a daily basis, and being aware will help you achieve more success than emotional highs. Maintain open channels on a consistent basis. Faith becomes unbreakable when it is practiced in a calm manner. Furthermore, this is an opportunity to strengthen your interpersonal relationships. You may be attracted to individuals who prioritize growth and slightly distance yourself from environments that thrive on chaos, gossip, or stagnation. This does not indicate arrogance. This is how you coordinate. You are not abandoning anyone. You are simply responding to the location where your spirit can breathe. Jiu. Please consider liking this video if it assists you in maintaining a sense of stability and clarity during this period of transition. Please do not hesitate to forward it to an individual who requires assistance during their breakthrough. Additionally, indicate in the comments that you have opted for balance over fear. The message is more likely to be received by individuals who are in the same situation as you were previously. If you haven't already, now is the time to subscribe. In this manner, you can remain informed about guidance that evolves with the seasons. This channel is intended to assist you not only in anticipation, but also in sustainability and growth. Archangel Michael also advises that you should relish your progress rather than placing excessive pressure on yourself to achieve it immediately. Change is the result of consistency, not intensity. Over time, the accumulation of small acts of faithfulness is significant. Don't forget about small wins. They indicate that there is an increase in stability. Keep an eye out for minor confirmations in the coming days. There are periods of tranquility in the midst of anxiety, and periods of clarity in the midst of a great deal of confusion. These are indicators that the alignment is becoming more robust. Please observe them.